this is my review of My Hero Academia. Okay, so what can I say about this episode except for that the fight between Todoroki and Deku was just amazing. So, what happened was, apparently when Todoroki was like 5, his father abused him and his mother to the point where his mother just kind of got fed up with it and poured boiling water on his face. But his mother was always supportive of him and told him to always stay true to himself and always strive to become a hero. Whereas his father was a bit more abrasive and continued to push him to be better and refused to let him play with the other children, to the point where Todoroki eventually wound up hating him for what happened with his mom, because he realized that it was him who caused his mom to hate him because she hated his father so much. So right off the bat, we've got two characters who are designed to be foils of one another. One is giving his all, and the other is refusing to give his all to spite his old man. And all that really happens is that Deku kind of delivers counterattack after counterattack until Todoroki eventually succumbs to frostbite and becomes much slower. And continues to point out all of Todoroki's mental hang-ups and stuff like that that's preventing him from going all out. And points out that he should be going all out, and reminds him that it isn't his quirk, that's his quirk and not actually his father's. So it's at that point where eventually Todoroki realizes just what Deku means and remembers everything his mother had said to him, all the words of encouragement, and finally uses his fire and knocks Deku out of bounds using a combination of fire and ice to create a huge explosion, which Cementos does manage to lessen to the impact of, but only just barely. And Deku is thrown out of bounds and Todoroki wins the match. So the main thing was that throughout the fight, Deku was becoming more and more pissed because Todoroki was kind of just screwing around. But after helping Todoroki with his mental hang-ups, Todoroki thanks Deku and then knocks him out of the ring and continues on fighting for the rest of the matches. So it's going to be interesting to see just what happens with the rest of this. So now that Todoroki's mental hang-ups are gone, or at the very least lessened, and he now realizes that he can become a hero for his sake and not for his father's, and no longer is dealing with his mental hang-ups, or at least they're lessened, as I said, he should be a much better hero and be in a much better state than he was. Because up until this point, he had refused to use his fire for any sort of attacking purpose. But now, thanks to Deku, he can, without rejecting his father. Well, he still rejects his father, but he no longer rejects his father's power, because he realizes that it's his quirk and he can choose what to do with it, instead of his father imposing his will on him anymore. So it is an act of defiance in Todoroki's moment of glory. Which is interesting. And also, Endeavor, terrible person. We don't like Endeavor. He'll never. I wouldn't be surprised if he got a redemption arc, but I think he's going to eventually realize. Well, maybe not, but I think he will eventually realize that he was wrong and will eventually reconcile with his family. I doubt it because it's Endeavor and he's already done some pretty terrible things in the past, but we'll see. But yeah, this fight was amazing, and it's definitely one of the highlights of the second season, and a lot of people have talked about it, and I can see why. It's a good fight, and it does clear up a lot of, plot points, and finally enables Todoroki to fight at full power, and finally try to pursue becoming a hero. So, overall, this episode was good. It did a lot of things right, and I liked it for it. Because while the fighting itself was kind of amazing, because it was more a clash of ideals rather than a physical clash. So it's interesting to see that kind of thing in here. But if you guys have seen this episode of My Hero Academia, what did you guys think? Let's get a discussion going in the comment section down below, or over on my Discord server, link in the description. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Also, be sure to follow me on Facebook and on Twitter in the description below. And also, check out my Patreon in the description below if you enjoyed this and want to help support me. It's only a couple bucks a month, and you can choose how much you donate a month. So definitely go check that out and maybe consider supporting me. I would definitely appreciate it if you did that. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. And until next time, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace! This is where he was. Look, when the victim ran for the door, if he was watching from this point, to him it would appear that she ran to the left. Please, this is no time for jokes and ill taste. That is where the killer was standing. Exactly.